We're talking with John Solomon. We're talking about the problems in media. You've seen it all happen. You turn on late night comedy, it's not funny anymore. You watch a sporting event, it's overly woke. And the news has been propaganda where they've literally been lying to us, story after story, whether it's COVID or Hunter Biden and his laptop or the Russian collusion story. They've all been lies. One of the people who's seen through the lies, told us the truth, is John Solomon. He's with us in the Economic War Room. John, all right, we were talking about Fox News right before the break. Fox's model, number one, they've fallen into groupthink, and not all of Fox. I mean, there's some still great people there.
Oh yeah,
but they've fallen into groupthink, but their model also. I noticed. I talked to my kids, and they said, "Fox what?" They don't watch stream. They don't watch television anymore in the traditional way that you and I grew up with. What's different about their model? What's wrong with it, and how do we fix it?
I think the fixing of it is no different than all the great anecdotes that you talk about every day on your great show. Why did currency become devalued, and why did we have interest rates going up? Well, if you start to put gold back behind the currency, it's going to become smarter. If you want to fix medium, comedy needs to be about being funny again. News needs to be about facts. Entertainment needs to be entertaining. And sports need to be just about the competition, not about ideological battles that don't belong on the field. The first network, the first conglomerate that steps back into this space and creates that old-fashioned television network in the new era. By the way, cable's dead. It's on the way out. Streaming is going to be the future. We went from over-the-air televisions to cable in the 70s and 80s, and that was transformative. We're at that moment where the cable box is going the way of the antenna, and streaming is going to be the future. The first person that recreates the golden television network for the streaming era of generation, the cable cutter generation, is going to be able to recreate the grandeur of the 1980s Ronald Reagan television era, which had the greatest sitcoms, the greatest newscasts, and some of the greatest news coverage. And it's a very simple model. It's no more simple than fixing our currency. You have to go back and give the market what they expected when they heard funny. It better be funny. Entertaining, it better be entertaining. News, it better be facts. And sports, it better be about competition, not about ideology. First person that steps into that place will reaggregate a massive monster stream of revenue because the marketplace is waiting for it. They're waiting for Roseanne to come back and the great sitcoms. They're waiting for news to just give me a newscast that trusts me to make up my mind. And they want great sports and they want great entertainment. And I think that moment is here. In the next 6 months, someone's going to step into that space. And those who do it will own a large share of the audience, and it'll be very affirming. And there'll be a reaggregation of brands under a brand that everybody says, I trust that brand. Look what they did. They got me back to what I want for me and my family. It is a juggernaut of a cash investment awaiting to occur. It's a juggernaut of a cultural moment, and it's a juggernaut of sort of a healing moment for America. If we could just have comedy and not have to worry about whether I'm offending someone or going to be canceled just because someone doesn't like my point of view, we're going to solve a lot of issues in America at the core level all the way up to the policy level. And the moment's here. We are at that moment right now.
You know, when you see Jerry Seinfeld and Bill Maher and others that I would have said, well, they've got to be left-leaning, they've got to be progressive, and they say comedy has gone off the rails, then you know there's a problem. There are a good number of conservative groups that are putting out good stories, good information, and so forth, but they seem kind of disaggregated. They seem like siloed to a certain degree. What role will they play in going forward?
That is a brilliant question. The era of social media and internet created a narrow casting environment. By the way, this has happened many times over the course of communications history, going all the way back decades ago. Gutenberg solved a decentralization problem by creating the printing press. We all have lived in these small bubbles with our tribes, and none of those bubbles have enough audience to create a scale of revenue that makes them profitable. So many of the great conservative sites have to be donor supported right now. However, if you aggregate them or you reaggregate them into a large network, you get a scale of audience, 40, 50, 60 million people. There is a natural cash flow and a revenue basis that makes these commercially viable. Right now, there's very few conservative news sites that actually are commercially viable. Almost all of them, with a few exceptions, myself included, don't have to rely on donations. We don't rely on donations. We've been able to scale at Just the News, a commercial model, reaggregating a lot of these brands under one flagship with a scale of audience and a scale of economy in the back end of creates a profit stream. It frees up nonprofit money to go do other amazing forward-leaning things in our country. And it creates an era of media, a new golden era of media success, which Donald Trump's creating a golden era for America. There ought to be a similar rejuvenation and golden era of the great media culture and the great media communication system. It's upon us. Someone just has to put it together.